Welcome back to Cover Lover Comics, brought to you by FLAKtv. Find love and kindness. Folks, it's time for adventure. It's time for excitement. It's time for 80s nostalgia, toys, comic books, and cartoons at their finest. It's time for G.I. Joe. Oh man, do I love G.I. Joe. It not only inspired so many artists and writers, but it also inspired people to freak out and buy toys and comic books and watch cartoons. The ultimate marketing plan. In the 1980s, President Ronald Reagan had pretty much eliminated the FCC and their regulations on what they could market to children. It was just an open battlefield. So you had companies like Mattel that was doing He-Man, launching a barrage with toys and cartoons and comic books at once. Well, Hasbro saw this and said, "Hold my beverage," and just won up the whole game. They relaunched a vintage toy line, G.I. Joe, with a whole new marketing technique of introducing different characters in each individual cartoon, with all the production being launched and the toys and the cartoons and the comics being intertwined. However, at a young age, I noticed something vastly different from the cartoon and the comic book. We discussed this in the Origin episode, but we're gonna dig a little deeper into this G.I. Joe slice of Americana. Here we are. Right here, G.I. Joe, number 1. 1982. Looking so pretty. This is a newsstand copy. We've discussed the newsstand editions and their potential for value. I have a first print coming back from CGC, which I'm looking very forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first appearance of Snake Eyes and the first appearance of Scarlet and the Baroness and Cobra Commander. And it's just a huge cast of characters. This is an iconic cover, and we know what this is all about. Interesting thing about this comic book is in 1982 when it launched, by 1983 it had 138,000 subscribers, and by 1985 it had over 300,000 subscribers. So this book was heavily printed and also had a second print. So that's kind of cool too. Not only that, but there's been toy release variants packaged inside toys, tribute comics, and homage covers. I'm going to show you some of my favorite all-time G.I. Joe covers. After all, this is Cover Lover Comics. Put together a fun stack for you guys. This right here, G.I. Joe, issue number 4. Look at that cover. That's all I have to say. Look at that cover. It's phenomenal. It's amazing. It's got the Joes rushing at you, some early Snake Eyes. Man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna keep this show rolling. It's a little bit of cover lover treat here for you. Right here, same cover. Have you notice? Boom. Got this thing signed by Larry Hama, or Hama, however you want to pronounce it. Got this thing signed in 2005. You're like, Ray, who the heck is Larry Hama? Larry Hama is the guy that when Hasbro needed this toy promoted and they went to Marvel Comics, editor-in-chief Jim Shooter went and sought someone to write all the bios and the information about these characters that were being released in toys. Well, Larry, being the perfect person to do this because he had a military background, did this comic with so much love and passion. He's still doing it to this day through IDW. Matter of fact, when G.I. Joe stopped printing after issue 150, I believe, they continued it with IDW's launch of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero with 151. This right here, epic cover, epic writer. Larry Hama, you're the man. Thank you, Larry. Right here, this is the first appearance of the October Guard. The October Guard is the Russian equivalent of the G.I. Joe. You see this is Cobra Commander's head being split in half through the mask. And right here, that's Herb Trimpe. Herb Trimpe is a legendary G.I. Joe artist, along with people like Mike Vosberg, Mike Zeck, and quite a few others too. I just can't drop them all at this point. I think Michael Golden, McFarlane, we'll be getting that to a second. Right here, this is G.I. Joe, issue number 10. This is signed by Mike Vosberg. This is when Cobra invades the small town of Springfield and absolutely turns the whole place into a Cobra base. And all the people living in the community are Crimson Guard, which are undercover, super badass agents working for the Crimson Twins, Tomax and Zaymont. Moving forward is an epic cover. It's actually picking up some steam currently. Look at that, Destro playing chess with the G.I. Joes. Because what a manipulator this guy is. He's an arms dealer, he's a smuggler, he's a hustler. And he's got a pimp voice in the cartoon too. Moving forward. Got a bunch to show you here. This is an appearance of Zartan in one of my favorite Cobra vehicles called the Cobra Water Moccasin. It's like this badass little hydrofoil. And as you can see, you got Wild Bill and the Dragonfly kind of pulling up beside him. Howdy, partner, where do you think you're going? Cartoon had a huge effect on me, but this comic book, ridiculous. We were talking about multiple printings. All right, well, as we look at the cover of this right here, we can see that there is an alien symbiote Spider-Man head. And that is showing us that this is a second print. That's right, you guys might have watched the last episode. However, yet again, this thing has been printed to the bejeepers. And this is what the toy cover variant looks like. It's got a black square in the bottom, and it's just very richly colored. Richly colored. And the inside paper is totally different from the paper inside these as well. Right here is one of my favorite issues of G.I. Joe. Favorite covers. It's Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow chasing each other through the streets of New York. What's cool about this is this takes place after the famous issue 21, the silent issue, where you find out that Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow are from the same ninja clan. And this digs deeper into the mystery of who the heck is Snake Eyes. It's pretty cool. A fight ensues and Snake Eyes ends up saving Storm Shadow's life, at which he says, "Our debt is over with." And he lets him know that, you know, he didn't kill the master. I'm not trying to spoil this for you, actually, folks. I'm trying to encourage you to find these things. If you can, IDW has done some great reprints. You can find them. They're classic G.I. Joe by IDW. Just an example. A couple more covers for you here. Great cover where Destro finally realizes that maybe Storm Shadow knows a little too much for his own good. Pulling up great issues here, folks. You'll notice that the cover on this one has the alien symbiote Spider-Man head. But if you look up in this corner, you see that M? All right. Well, as we look at this one, it doesn't have the M. That's where this gets tricky. You see, some of these second prints have the alien symbiote head. Yet what you have to look for is the price box. So the difference is that not only that the print is smaller, but it's also an M for Marvel. Isn't that marvelous? Kind of cool. I enjoy those kind of things. Another epic G.I. Joe cover right here. This is a continuation of a story where Quick Kick and Snow Job and Quick Kick, Outback, and Stalker get captured, and the ninjas, the ninja team, go in there to save them. It's pretty freaking epic. You got the Blind Master, you got Jinx. Right here is issue number 50. Issue number 50 leads into the special missions, which special missions is something we're talking about in a second here. This is the issue right here where Storm Shadow invades the G.I. Joe base and gets into a fight with Quick Kick just to fight him off and fight everybody else off so he can talk to his brother-in-arms, Snake Eyes. Follow-up issue, iconic cover, Snake Eyes, 35th anniversary of Marvel Comics, or 25th anniversary, my bad. Every comic produced by Marvel this month, and I think it's just this month, had this wonderful border. Moving forward, here's another iconic cover. This is Todd the God McFarlane, notorious for Spider-Man and Spawn, doing a cover and interiors of G.I. Joe. Could be a go find it, but not for today. All right, last couple covers here of the regular G.I. Joe run that I want to share with you. I have almost a complete run, and that could take a long time. Iconic cover, Battle for Cobra Island. This is Serpentor, the hybridized leader made from the DNA of many ancient leaders and historical figures. He's got the Baroness strapped over the hood of a Hiss tank. This is the Saw Viper, the notorious Saw Viper. If you read this far into the G.I. Joe series, you know this is where it gets very real. This is one of the first issues where, I'm not saying there's one person who dies, but there's many who die. And some of the leaders are freaking out, but Cobra Commander, he's stoked and he's ready to reward this guy. On that down note, give you some positivity. It's time for a commercial break, brought to you by FLAKtv, fine love and kindness. Got to get tough. Yo, Joe! Welcome back, cover lovers. Hopefully you took that quick break to go give a subscribe at FLAKtv so you can enjoy more issues being dropped here at Cover Lover Comics. I'm stoked for your support, and I'm just so happy to keep sharing comic books with you. So let's keep this ride going, or should I say mission going, a special mission. This right here is G.I.Joe Special Mission number 1. This thing right here is amazing. This started a series for G.I.Joe that I feel is highly underrated. You could buy pretty much the whole set, about 40 issues, for about 40 bucks, maybe even less depending on the condition. These are usually one-shot issues for a single mission. Sometimes it's 2 issues that tie together, very, very rarely. And even less rare is it crossing over into regular G.I. Joe. Man, these stories are brutal, brutal. I mean, they broke boundaries of what should be told in a comic book. It actually sort of pushed the line of what a children's toy can do, because it took a while for the regular G.I. Joe issues to go this scandalous. For example, if I take you to G.I. Joe Special Mission, issue number 2, which is one of my buddy's favorite issues ever released, it is brutal. It is all about Recondo, who is one of the jungle specialists, going into the jungle to work things out with Colombian drug lords, which is hectic in the first place. Children should not be reading that, but thank you, Larry. It's awesome. Recondo pretends that he is a traitor, and you don't know that. You don't know that till you're almost done with the book. So he's just turning coat on the Joes left and right, and it's just shady as all possibility. You're not sure if he's gonna kill him or what. And you know, folks, I just go out and read the thing, because fire. Every issue of Special Mission was truly special. This right here, this is about a bunch of crazy missionaries and revolutionaries that get together and hijack a bus full of tourists, and a small amount of G.I. Joes have to handle the business there because it gets seriously sketchy. This one right here was a great issue. I love this issue. This issue is the G.I. Joes have found a lost city in the Andes Mountains. And it turns out to be a hidden Tibetan city. It's really cool. They put a landing strip up. They work together with the monks. It's just all incredible. And it was also to help them to preserve some of their culture, but also to keep Cobra from coming in the game. But right now, I'm going to drop something special for you before I get this thing just about wrapped up. G.I. Joe was done by Hasbro, but so were the Transformers. Oh, yeah. And I mean, come on, let's face it here, folks. One of the things you always wanted to see when you were a kid was your toys battle, and Marvel knew that, and Hasbro knew that. So they launched a 4-issue miniseries. Boom. G.I. Joe Transformers. The first issue cover shows Bumblebee getting blown the heck up. I mean, that's an impact. That's cover loving at its finest. And as we continue, these covers only get sicker. Issue 2, black cover, hard to keep in nice condition, but man, is that sweet. Right here, issue number 3, Shockwave on the cover. You gotta love Shockwave. Any appearance of Shockwave to me, money. These are pretty underrated, unless, however, Hasbro decides to launch a large franchise like Marvel did and do a connected cinematic universe where you get the Transformers and the G.I. Joe. Can't tell me you wouldn't be looking forward to that. G.I. Joe and Transformers have crossed over several times since these books. They've crossed over several times thanks to IDW, which IDW kept the dream alive. They kept things going. If you didn't know, knowing is half the battle. Famous G.I. Joe slogan. Speaking of battle, we have the G.I. Joe 4-issue limited series, G.I. Joe Order of Battle. Cool thing about Order of Battle is it tells you all the names of all the characters, all the specialties, their weapons, and inside one of these issues is Rocky Balboa. That's right. Hey, yo, Mick, are we going to battle against Cobra? Yeah, Rocky Balboa is supposed to be a G.I. Joe. However, never freaking happened. The likeness for Sylvester Stallone wasn't allowed, and instead, they went with Sergeant Slaughter. That's right. Sergeant freaking Slaughter. Got to enjoy these covers though, cover lovers. Appreciate you for tuning in and checking these episodes out. This is G.I. Joe, one of my favorite things, one of the most impactful comic books of all time. Yet again, remember folks, find love and kindness here at FLAKtv. Give us a subscribe. Check out all the new issues of Cover Lover Comics coming out. We love sharing all the enjoyment with you. This has been G.I. Joe, a real American hero. We'll continue on our special mission of sharing love and kindness while we find love and kindness here at FLAKtv. Hey, I bet you're glad you didn't go anywhere, because Cover Lover Comics is like a Marvel movie. Don't go anywhere, because it's time to go find it.
Go find it!
That's right, you know what a Go Find It is. A Go Find It is a comic that may have had a bunch printed, may have had few printed, and may be worth a bunch of money, or it may not be worth diddly squat. But it's kind of cool, and I think it's kind of rare, so I want to share it. Now let me tell you something about this, cover lovers. This little Go Find It right here is connected to some other little lovely Go Find It. For example, Marvel Comics back in the day, you know, they're not perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. But if you, that's right, you could catch Marvel Comics slipping with an error, or a misprint, or a misquote, or a wrong color, and point it out and write in a letter and send it in, Marvel Comics will acknowledge the fact that you caught Marvel slipping, and they'll send you a no prize. You're like, Ray, what's a no prize? A no prize is an envelope, an empty envelope with nothing in it. It's no prize inside. However, the envelope itself is what's valuable, because getting a no prize is very rare. I mean, catching one of the world's largest comic publications slipping? Let's be honest here. Yeah, right. Hardly. Well, maybe. Anyway, here we go. This is what we have. Today's Go Find It is No Prize book. That's right, number 1. This thing came out in 1982. This is just a collection of Marvel's mistakes caught by the marvelous fans of Marvel Comics, or Merry Marvel fandom, I'd say. This is really cool because the inside is pretty much just Stan Lee walking us through Marvel's mistakes, which, I mean, it's hilarious. They really do make fun of Stan pretty bad in this comic. Matter of fact, in the beginning of the comic, there's a letter from Stan claiming that anybody who had anything to do with this comic is going to get fired, which is pretty much immediately responded to by having a subtext by all the creators saying that they had nothing to do with this idea. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Go Find It, because if you can't get your hands on an actual no prize envelope, I'd say the second prize to a no prize will be finding a copy of No Prize Book, issue number 1, 1982, Marvel Comics, Upside Down Doom Stan Lee. I mean, seriously, it's in dollar bins probably. But the challenge here, ladies and gentlemen, yet again is to what? What? Go find it!
Go find it!
This has been today's Go Find It. And folks, find love and kindness here at FLAKtv. Every issue of Cover Lover Comics is brought to you by FLAKtv. And let me tell you, this fella's working his buns off. He's producing, he's doing the lighting, he's directing, he's also all the extras you see in the background. It's crazy. So we started up a Patreon to take some of the stress off of this wonderful producer's back. I mean, I feel like he's got to be combined like Jim Shooter and Steranko and Kirby, and all the work those pages are done together, wrapped into one fella.
Thanks,
so I
man.
appreciate, much love, Flak. So thanks, folks. Come check out the Patreon. If you get a chance, go to Instagram. Check out Cover Lover Comics. It's _ Cover Lover Comics. Go to FLAKtv on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Shoot a subscribe. And above all, please, please find love and kindness. We'll see you again soon in the funny books.